here's 500 extra points for your roaches crawling on you all night.
Am I a front desk employee or am I a babysitter? They called her a hoe. They said she was stupid. They also said that she probably is sucking, and the word that rhymes with sucking that starts with the F, to get all her sales she was making. Hi guys, before you start this video, I just wanted to say hello. Please excuse the background. I know there's a hole in the wall behind me. Just ignore that and listen to the story. I promise part 2 has a cuter background. Hi y'all. I know I look a hot mess. I'm gonna get ready during today's video. I'm not getting ready for anything because we're all quarantinoed, but I do have to go pick my kids up. They stay the night at my parents' house, so I guess I'm getting ready for that. But today's video is actually going to be one that has been requested. It's crazy to say that it's been requested because, like, oh my gosh, like, y'all actually watch my videos. I just really appreciate everybody so much that has been watching and subscribing and liking and commenting. It really means the world to me. But we're gonna get into why I left the hotel, as everybody has been wondering, and all that. I don't know if this is going to be a 1-part or 2-part. We will figure that out together. But I am going to kind of start with exposing the hotel I worked at. And then the second part is going to be about what happened and why I'm no longer employed there. And I'm going to do it that way just because I'm going to tell y'all now, I got fired, okay? Over really just stupid stuff. But everything that led up to this is why I reacted the way I did, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why I wanted to tell you guys that first, because I may have reacted differently if everything that happened before this day didn't happen. So, Lord, where do I start? Okay, so this is going to be part 1. Me exposing the hotel I used to work at. So I'm just going to kind of start by talking about the people that I worked for. So these people were a married couple. They were young. They were my age. So when I say my age, the woman, who we're going to call her Donna. Donna was my age. I'm 24, so she'd also be 24. Oh, pause right there. This is me while I'm editing. Okay, so a little bit later, I'm going to talk about how they were compulsive liars. I just thought about this as I was editing, about their ages. So they literally had to lie and tell me that they were older than what they were. I don't know if it's because they thought I would respect them more or whatever. I think Donna told me she was like 25 when she would have really been like 22, 23. You know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of weird. But I found out the truth because one day Donna gave me her driver's license because I had to make a copy of it for something for her. Her ID said that she was born in 1995, in June of 1995, I believe. And I was born in August of 1995. So how are you 2-3 years older than me when you were born 2 months before me? And her husband, we're gonna name him Nick. Donna's daddy owned the hotel or something like that. Someone in her family owned it and put them in charge of it. They seemed like really good people when I first started there, and for a while of me working there. The longer I worked there, the longer I got to know the real them. I'm gonna kind of start with like the not so TST, and then I'm gonna get into the more like stuff. So, Donna and Nick, they were just kind of like not good business people. Like, and when I say not good business people, I mean like dirty business, if that makes sense. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is gonna be the bugs. So at the hotel, we would get bed bugs, which is normal for a hotel because bed bugs come from people and people's belongings, and any hotel can get bed bugs, even a 5-star hotel. But the problem is not the bed bug. Well, the bed bugs are a problem, but that's not why I'm talking about them today. The reason I'm talking about them is how they handled these bed bug complaints. So I would literally have people come down to the desk with a bed bug in a cup to show me that there's bed bugs in their room. So when this would happen, most of the time, Donna and Nick were not there. They're out living their best lives and leaving the whole running of the hotel up to the front desk. Anyways, so I'm here with bed bugs on, and what they would have me do, I'd call my managers, and they would have me move this guest to another room and then have the maintenance man, I'm going to end up talking about another maintenance man. This first maintenance man, we're going to name him Ian. So they'd have me move the guest to another room. Then they would have Ian go and check the room that the guest was in originally, where they brought the bug from. And Ian didn't really know what he was doing, so he would go and check, and he'd say,
"Oh no, room's all clean, all clear."
Even though these people just brought up a bug to the front desk. First issue with that is now that bed bug that was in the first room could have hopped on somebody's clothes, could have hopped in their suitcase, could have done anything. So now that bed bug that was in room number 1 is now in the second room that these people went to, possibly. Second problem is that they would still rent out the first room after Ian would tell them that it's all clear, even though it's really not, because he doesn't know what he's looking for. So instead of calling pest control from the jump, now the bed bugs are spreading throughout the hotel. So we would just constantly get complaints for bed bugs, people getting bitten by bed bugs during their sleep, all that nasty stuff. And finally, once they'd get like, I don't know, 5 complaints, 10, then they finally start taking it seriously and they'll call pest control, which is disgusting because it's like y'all could have just treated 1 room or 2 rooms, and now you're having to treat like 2 entire floors because the laundry y'all are doing, y'all are moving the cart in and out all these rooms, and it's just spreading like a disease. So yeah, that was one thing. Also, towards the end of me working there, they were starting to renovate and put in a lot of new stuff. They would leave the doors open a lot to like get stuff in and out, like move stuff. And so we got roaches there too. And instead of getting pest control to come and spray for roaches, what do? Just kill them. Kill them, step on them, scoot them under something. It was awful. It was one time we would get these buses full of like senior citizens that would go on like these group tours, and it was a bus full of them one time. And I remember Donna, it was a huge roach. It was like this big, and she stepped on it and she was like, "Go sweep that up before one of them sees it." And speaking of roaches, oh my god, if y'all go and watch my like my day in the life of the hotel videos, in there you'll see the kitchen where we keep all like the breakfast food. So I would go in there whenever I'd work second shift, and second shift is 3 to 11. I would go in there to like get something out the kitchen, like if I had my food in the fridge in there or whatever, I would go in there. Basically, when you open up the door to the kitchen, it's an automatic light. It's like a motion sensor light that comes on. So when I'd open up the door and that light would come on, I know y'all know how like roaches scatter when the light comes on. I would turn the light on in there and they would just in the freaking kitchen where the food is. Oh my God.
Oh, that's nasty.
And there was also a lot of complaints about the roaches. Excuse me, front desk. There's a roach just crawling up my wall. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I'll come kill it. I can move you to a different room. Is there gonna be more roaches in there? I don't know. And it just kind of sucked because it's like we were always just making excuses for them, even though we knew that they were not like doing the best business practices. But it's like, if you want a check, you better shut up. So since I'm talking about kind of like the cleanliness and like grossness of it, their cleaning was just not up to par. Like, it was gross. The housekeepers only had like a couple minutes for each room. They just didn't do everything they needed to do. Like, they barely ever vacuumed the rooms. They only vacuumed if like you could see visible crumbs on the ground. They didn't mop the bathrooms unless you could see you need to mop. It was just like gross stuff like that. Fun fact, if you go to hotels, you know, like the top cover on the bed, take that off your bed when you get in there because they don't change it. I don't know if that's how it is for all hotels, but the one I worked at, that top like decorative cover is like never changed unless there's like body fluids on it. So yeah, make sure to take that off if you ever go to a hotel. Or they kind of just rinsed the bathtubs out and the showers out. They didn't really like clean them. So I don't know what happened to the video right here, but basically I know that their cleaning was not good. Number one, because of the complaints I would get on a daily basis from the guests who checked into the rooms. Secondly, they would have me clean rooms. Like say we were sold out a night and a room came in, like a lot of times people would come in with somebody else just for a couple hours, if you know what I mean. They would use the room and they would leave the room after they was done using the room for what they was using it for, you feel me? So I would go in and clean those rooms if the housekeepers were already gone, so that way we could resell those rooms and make like basically double profit on them because we were sold out. Somebody already paid for it, they're already gone, so we're gonna clean it and sell it again. But yeah, sometimes when I would go and clean those rooms, like the ones that people just use for a couple minutes, you know, hint hint, wink wink, clearly they're not messing the room up in there. Like, they gonna mess the bed up but they ain't messing the whole room up. And like, I'd go in there and when I clean, so I'd go in there and like scrub the shower out and stuff, and it's like when I'm scrubbing the shower, there's like dirt built up in there, and it's like, that's not from these two people using the room for 2 hours. Like, that's built up, caked in dirt. And it would be like that for like the carpets too. Like there'd just be like stuff on the carpets all the time. Like, they didn't vacuum unless you could see that it needed to be vacuumed. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna get to the next topic. Oh, this is another little like shady thing they do. So when they got word that like the health inspector was coming, he would come and check the pool, and then I think it was like a different health inspector that would come and check the kitchen. So whenever they got word that like the pool inspector was coming, they would put a sign on the pool door saying the pool was out of order. That way, if the inspector came and checked and their chemical levels weren't right or whatever, they would not be held liable and they wouldn't get in trouble because they had the sign on the door saying that the pool was closed and it was out of order. Even though if somebody came to the front desk, I was instructed to tell them, you can still go in there. It's okay. Because I didn't want to complain. And that's the thing, like, it wasn't even guaranteed that something would be wrong with the pool. They just put it up there as a precaution.
Shady people.
Another, like, kind of really gross thing they would do. I'm just talking about the gross stuff first, and then I'll talk about, like, the drama, because that's the fun part. Basically, the air conditioners at the hotel I worked at would leak. So pretty much the whole hotel was molded because all the the AC would leak into the carpet, and the carpet, it would just dry, and it would just mold, and it would just stink, and it was musty, and it was just nasty. I had a lot of people there that had breathing problems and stuff that would check in, and they're like, I literally cannot stay in that room. I cannot breathe. There was that. And they wouldn't give people refunds for it either. They would just try to move them rooms, and then if they were like, no, I want to leave, they would be like, okay, well, you're not getting a refund because you've already stayed in the room for an hour. So you can either move to a different room or you can be out of luck, basically. And then another thing they would do, they would give people points instead of refunds. The hotel I worked at was under like a chain. It wasn't owned by this chain, but they were under the chain, if that makes sense. So they had a point system. So my bosses, instead of wanting to give refunds, Donna and Nick would always try to just give people points instead and be like,
oh, here's 500 extra points for your roaches crawling on you all night.
Another just like bad business thing they would do, they would not return people's phone calls. And so these people would call the front desk all the time. And they're like, is Donna there? Is Donna there? Is Donna there? Can I talk to Donna? And then I'd be like, hold on. And I'd go talk to Donna and be like, there's a phone call for you. And she'd be like,
oh, tell them I'm not here.
Tell them I'll call them back. And she never would. So the next day, what they do, they call back. Donna never called me back. Is Donna there? Go in her office. Donna says,
tell them I'm in a meeting.
But in reality, she's sitting at her desk on her phone. So, yeah. And then, of course, like, the guests would get mad at the front desk because they're like,
I've called 5 times. Are you not giving her my messages?
And it's like, no, it's not us. I'm giving her all your messages, honey. She just hasn't called you back. I don't know. Sorry. And they like actually do that when people are in person too, which really irked me because we would have a complaint and instead of them coming out of the office to handle it, they would like relay us back and forth from the office to the guest, or they would just be like, tell them I'm not here. And so we have all the stress put on us as the front desk to try to handle these issues when our manager's literally 2 steps away in their office and they could come out and handle it. But I don't know if they're too scared or if they just didn't want to deal with it, which is most likely they just that annoyed me. And then especially how like they wouldn't call people back, and it's like people were waiting on refund. People were waiting on refunds for like months because they just wouldn't talk to them. I really don't understand why, but I mean, that's just them. And like we would have to leave notes on the door. Hey y'all, it's me. I'm editing. I just wanted to pop in here because I realized what I said didn't really make sense. Where I said that we had to like write notes and leave them on the door. Basically, when our managers were not there, which was most of the time, if we had any like thing to tell them, like any messages or anything that were not urgent, like say somebody called trying to talk to them, and left their phone number for them to call back, or if they're like trying to get their refund, or just something that wasn't like urgent that we needed to talk to them about now, we would write it on a piece of paper and tape it to the door of their office. And their office was behind the front desk, so it was obviously locked, so we would just tape it on the outside of the door so the next time they came in they would see it and take care of it. Well, they would see it. So yeah, I hope that makes a little bit more sense. And this is the type of stuff we would have to write on them to get them to pay attention to the notes. And we'd be like, please call them back. Please. This is the 5th time they've called. Please call them back. They're getting really annoyed. And like, we'd really have to write that on the notes so that they would freaking call them back. Which is ridiculous. Y'all are running a flipping business here. The fudge. Okay. Now I think we're gonna get into the
Fun stuff, which is the drama.
I'm gonna also do my hair because it looks
Awful. It looks so bad. So I'm gonna straighten it.
one thing. It was, I guess it was nice of them to do, the Donna and Nick. It was nice for them to do, but they would let people's kids come to work with them. like on a daily, not just because their babysitter was sick or something. So it was literally one lady who brought her child to work every single day. And she worked in the laundry room. It was the laundry lady. No, she didn't bring her kid. I'm so sorry. She brought her kids. 2 of them. And they were young as heck. And that's just really dangerous because, first of all, I'm going to be just 100% real. She did not watch them. So they would just come out of the laundry room and just be running around the lobby. And I'm like, am I a front desk employee or am I a babysitter? And they would also, the little boy, it was a little boy and a little girl. And the little girl was older, but she was still like 4. And the little boy was like 2. Y'all might have seen it in my other videos. But like, here's the front desk. The laundry room is behind the front desk. And then there's a door coming out of the laundry room you can get out of. And then you can come around. And then here's the desk. Here's the laundry room. You can come around the desk. And then there's the doors to outside. So this little boy would come out of the laundry room, come around the desk, and run outside into the parking lot. And it's like people would speed through there all the time. And it's like, he's like this tall. So how are they going to see him? And it could have just been awful. Thank God nothing ever happened to him while I was there. But it easily could have, you feel me? Let me just put this in right here. If I did see him like running towards the door, I would like yell at him to stop. And like, if I saw him run outside, I would go get him. So it's not like I just let him run around, but there were times where I did have work to do, so I was focused on my work, and of course I'm not watching out for him 24/7 because that's what his mom's supposed to be doing. So there were times he was able to get outside, and any of those times anything could have happened. So like that was extremely dangerous. And then like on top of that, she would let her kids like climb all over the furniture in the lobby and like almost fall over. I'd have guests asking me, whose kids are these? Are these your kids? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, they're not my kids. But I couldn't tell them that they were the laundry lady's kids. I'm just like, I don't know. Also, he could get run over, but he could also get freaking kidnapped. Both of them could. They could have just... Somebody could have swooped them up and took them to their room, or somebody could, like anything could, like she did not watch them. Why did y'all even allow her to work here knowing that she don't got nobody to watch her kids? Which I understand. Everybody got to make money. Everybody got to do this and that. But don't put your children in a dangerous situation just because you need to make some money. You know what I mean? And on top of that, the laundry room is also where everything was kept, like all the cleaning supplies and laundry detergents and bleach and everything. So those kids could have got into any of that at any time, because not only did she not watch them, she would also go and run upstairs to the different floors to go and grab the laundry so she could keep doing her job and leave the kids in the dang laundry room alone. Like anything could have happened. And then who's responsible? I don't know, man. Okay, for real this time. This is the last like shady business thing they did, and then we're gonna get into the drama. So if we were really busy, or nights we were like sold out and had like 50 reservations or something. On nights that we were like sold out, like we had reservations to the point that we had no rooms left to sell. They would have us go through and charge everybody's card before check-in, even though on the website it says you'll have to pay upon arrival. But we were charging people before they arrived. And then if their card didn't go through, our manager would like cancel the room. So say somebody was paying $79 for their room that night. So she would see that rate in there on a night we were sold out and their card did not go through the first time we tried. She would go ahead and cancel that room and sell it to somebody who was willing to pay like $150 for that $79 room, because there was no other rooms available anywhere else. So they would basically just like kick out the people who were paying low rates so they could make more money. not kick them out, but they would cancel their reservations before they got there if their card didn't go through. As you can imagine, that would make people very mad when they did get there and they're trying to pay with cash or with a different card or whatever, and then they get there and they don't have a room anymore. The hotel I worked at is like right outside of Nashville, so a lot of times there was no rooms available anywhere within like 2 hours of our hotel, because there would be events going on in Nashville that would have all the hotels in Nashville sold out and all of the surrounding cities. So a lot of times when they would do this to people, the people would have to like sleep in their cars and stuff. So yeah. And also, if they wanted to pay with a different card or cash or something when they arrive, they'd have to wait like a week for the payment to be refunded on the card we did charge it on. So a lot of people would be upset about that. And of course, the front desk employees would be the ones who had to hear it and had to get chewed out and cussed out because of it. I had one woman come in there one time, and she had very visibly just been beat up. Like, I know y'all gotta make y'all's money, but you also need to treat people how y'all want to be treated. Like, this woman came in there and she had like $60 to her name. And she was like, can I please just get a room for tonight? I'll be gone tomorrow. I just need somewhere to go tonight. I can't go back home. I can't go back home because he'll probably kill me. And I can't go to my friend's house because he'll know where I'm at, blah, 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 blah. She's just trying to stay safe. And she's willing to give us the last $60 she had. And instead of being like, yeah, sure, they were like, well, the cheapest room we have is $79. So good luck. I don't know if I just have a soft spot for that because I've been through crap like that or what, but I thought that was so messed up. Like, excuse me? Y'all really ain't gonna help this girl? Donna and Nick, they were not good people. They talked bad about every employee there to me, and I know they talk bad about me to everybody else because that's just what they did. Literally, it was insane. I'm just gonna give y'all some examples of what they said to people. They called the housekeepers all stupid and they didn't know what they were doing. They called the head housekeeper. They told me that she was lazy and stupid and she doesn't do anything and they're gonna fire her and she's not a good employee. And they missed their old head housekeeper. They're gonna see if she could come back. She refused to come back because these people are crazy. And I'm not a manager. Like, y'all are just talking to me about this why. Not only would they talk bad about people, they would also tell me all of their business for some reason. And like we weren't friends. I don't know why they felt the need to do this. It's just because they liked gossip and they like to talk about people. I'm sorry, I'm scratching my leg. I broke out from this laundry detergent I'm using and I have a rash like all over my body. Gross, right? We had a sales manager there. I'm gonna call her Susie. So Susie Sheep. This woman was a mess anyways, and I will tell you more about her in a minute, but I'm just gonna tell you what they told me about her. They called her a hoe. They said she was stupid. They told us to not listen to what she has to say, even though she was a sales manager. So she was technically a manager. But the part that I recorded about this at first really didn't make sense, so I'm just gonna re-explain it. Basically, Susie was she was a sales manager, and she was told by Donna and Nick that she was also our manager. So like the front desk employees, the housekeepers, maintenance, everything else that worked there. She was told that she was our boss and we had to listen to her. But then they were telling all of us that she wasn't our boss and she's only in charge of sales. So it's like, what was the point in that? Just like, be straight up with everybody about what their roles are and who they need to answer to and stuff. I don't understand what the purpose of any of that was. You know what I mean? It's like they were just creating conflict there for no reason. Is she in charge of me or not? Like, I don't care if she is. Yeah, they call her a hoe. They'd call her gross. They'd call her stupid. They also said that she probably is sucking, and the word that rhymes with sucking that starts with the F, to get all her sales she was making. Nick, he also told me that one time he glanced at her phone and she had a picture with her chi-chis out on her phone. This old dang 60-year-old woman. I don't know how old she was, but she was an older lady. And he was like, I saw her boobs, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro, that's so inappropriate. Why are you telling me that? And you got a whole wife, and she, like, what? Y'all are a hot mess. Nick one time told me, basically, they had cameras. My hotel wasn't the only hotel that they owned. And they had cameras, and they could watch and listen to their cameras at home, which I'll get into more of that later. But Nick one time told me that at one of the other hotels, one of their guys working there was watching porn on the computer, which was stupid of the guy. But it's like, why are you showing me that? Like, he actually, like, showed me, like, the video of the guy watching it. And it's like, why are you showing me this? I don't want to see this. Why are you telling me this guy's business? And, like, it's a guy that, like, I know because I've worked at their other hotels before, too. Not just the one that I was mainly employed at. So it's like, why are you telling me his business? Like, oh, maybe he just was feeling a little frisky at work. I don't know. Like, that's stupid to do at work, especially on the work computer. But, like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So back to them talking bad about everybody. They called Susie Sheep a hoe and stupid and all that. And it's like, if she's such a hoe and she's so stupid, why did y'all hire her? The fudge. I don't understand. They will also talk bad about the girl that worked third shift, who was my friend, until they figured out that we were friends. Then they stopped talking to me about her, and I'm guessing they probably talked about her to other people. But they said she was on drugs, and they said she was stupid and she was crazy, and she was always messed up, and she's messed up in the head, and she's not all here, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, maybe she's like that because y'all had her working 7 days a week, every single week, multiple shifts a day, which we'll get into more of that later. But yeah, they had her working all the freaking time. She works 7 days a week. There was another guy that worked at the front desk. We're gonna call him John. They would talk bad about him, saying that he's getting fat, which is effed up. And John, if you ever see this, which I'm sure you probably won't, but if you do, you're not fat. You look great. They would say he's getting fat, lazy. He always got complaints. If he kept getting complaints, they were going to fire him. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sure they haven't. I really actually think he still works there. They also told me about how John owes them money. And I'm like, literally, why are you telling me this? Like, that is y'all's actual personal business. And they would tell me that to, like, try to, like, compare and contrast me to them when they would tell me their other BS lies, which I'll talk to y'all about in a minute. But it's like, yeah, you're the best because you don't ask to borrow money from us. We still haven't had John pay us back from back when we helped him pay whatever, and he owes us this much money and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay, like, that is none of my business, you know? Like, I love hearing people's drama and tea and gossip and all that, but, like, that made me uncomfortable because it's like, what am I even supposed to reply back to that? That's literally not my business. That is literally nothing that has to do with me that I do not need to know about. Like, what the heck, man? So inappropriate, you know? So the first maintenance man I was talking about, Ian, They also told me that he owed them money. And why are y'all telling me this? If y'all don't want people owing y'all money, why are you loaning it out? Why are you telling me? We're going to call this girl Bianca. So Bianca, she was a really, really sweet girl. And they told Bianca, or they told me that Bianca was a hoe because she was messing with one of the guys up there. And she's just a young girl. She's living her life. And the guy she was messing with, it's not like it was weird because he was just a young guy. He was just up there working, and they met and they started messing around. In my opinion, that doesn't make you a hoe. You're just living life, you know? So they would call her a hoe. They would bring up the videos and show me on the videos how she would come up there when she wasn't on the clock to go hang out with him. And it's like, honestly, like, okay, but that's not even y'all's business. Like, that's her personal life. She is not on the clock. Why are you worried about what she's doing? She is not affecting nothing up here. She's just coming to see her little boo thing. Just talk bad about everybody. And it was ridiculous. Like, the girl who worked third shift, we're going to call her Vanessa. So once me and Vanessa became close, she would tell me how they would talk bad about me too, basically. Somehow they found my YouTube channel, which is kind of weird because I don't really know how they found that unless somebody told them. Because I'm not friends with them. I'm usually not ever friends with like managers and stuff that I work with. So unless somebody snitched and told them, I don't know how the heck they found it. But they found my YouTube channel. And instead of confronting me about the videos, they talked to Vanessa about it. And Vanessa told me, and she was like, yeah, they're mad. And I'm just like, well, I'm going to continue to do it because ain't nobody told me they mad. Well, I got kind of butthurt about that, though, because it's like, I don't care if you're mad. If you're mad, tell me, and I'll take the stuff down if I still want to work there. But don't go behind my back and talk to her about it. But I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Because she also denied it once I confronted her about talking bad about me. So yeah, she talks bad about me, about my YouTube, and about how she's going to fire me over it. But then she would be all smiling in my face like nothing was wrong. And then she also was telling Vanessa, okay, let me tell y'all right here. My kids had lice. Me and my kids had lice. Either my daughter brought it home from daycare or my son brought it from school. So, actually, no, this is before my son was in school. So they brought it home from daycare. It happens. People get lice. So I freaked the F out because I found one in my hair. And I was supposed to come to work that day. And I called my boss because I know how I am. I'm very obsessive about stuff like that. And it'll freak me out all night. And also, I don't want to give it to nobody else from like sitting in the chairs and stuff. And so I told my boss, I called her and I was like, I'm freaking out. I just found lice in my hair. I need to go handle this and I will come back to work tomorrow because I was freaking out. I had freaking bugs crawling in my scalp. Now it doesn't freak me out as much because I've done a lot of research on it and it just doesn't bother me as much anymore because like you can get rid of it. But that was like the first time in my adult life that I had it. So I was freaking out because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know where to turn. So I was freaking out and I called out. And basically she was saying it was fine. She's like, that's okay. Whatever. See you tomorrow. Good luck. But then she told Vanessa she wanted to fire me for calling out like that. And it's like, that's fine. Like, I get it. I get that if you have an issue, that's fine. But let me know. And that way I can fix it. Or that way I can come in. Don't, like, blindside me with the fact that it's an issue when in our conversation, you're making it seem like everything's A-okay. I don't understand. Oh, this is going to be so long. I've already been recording for an hour. Maybe this will be a 3-part. I don't know. I'm going to go back to now the sales manager, Susie Sheep. He was a hot mess. I grew up Catholic. I grew up in a Catholic church. My grandparents are very, very Catholic. My mom was Catholic. I don't know if she still considers herself a Catholic. She actually might. But we haven't been to church in a long time. No, I don't consider myself Catholic now, but I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm not very religious now. But I'm very close to like the Catholic world. Like I know all about it because that's what I grew up in. One day we're at work and Susie, the sales manager, she decides to start talking bad about Catholics. And she's like,
I don't know why anyone would want to be a Catholic. They're just all rapists and they just all rape little boys and cover it up and blah, 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 blah.
and I'm just like, I looked at her and I was like, I'm a Catholic. Even though I don't really consider myself a Catholic anymore, it still really kind of offended me because it's like, how are you just going to generalize a whole group of people like that, saying that they're rapists and stuff? And it's like, I've grown up in that church since I was literally a baby. Like, I got baptized as a baby in a Catholic church. And it's just like, that's just extremely disrespectful. Why would you even talk like that at work anyways? Like, you're off your rocker, lady. Not only that is you're at work, but you're also a manager. So why would you even say something disrespectful like that? That's not all the disrespectfulness she'd have to say. She'd also, she said that all Democrats are idiots. And I'm like, honey, ma'am, I don't think you have the right to call anyone an idiot. Bless her. Any Hispanic person that would come in the vicinity, or anybody that looked like they weren't white or black, you know what their name were to her?
Illegals. All these illegals up in here.
Like, it was ridiculous. She was like,
I can't wait till Trump builds that wall and all these illegals will be out of here. Blah, 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 blah.
And I'm just like, girl, I'm finna go crazy having to sit by you every day. Okay, so this is actually going to be a 3-part series. Just because this video is already 45 minutes and I don't want to make y'all watch a 2-hour video and then have a part 2 on top of that. So it's just going to be a 3-part. Part 2, we're going to pick back up about how Donna and Nick are compulsive liars. So if you want to see all that, there will be more besides that, but that's where we're going to pick up on. So if you want to see that, please look forward to it. I'll probably post it around the same time as I post this one, if not at the same time, because I don't want to make y'all wait for it. But yeah, if you liked this video, please like it and subscribe if you want. I'll see you next time. Bye.